7 reasons to play the monk has thunderclapped its cheeks onto my next video, and this is going to be a video that I'm actually really proud of because I spent a tremendous amount of time researching, taking it through the savage and extreme trials and the rest, and as someone who was certainly not confident on monk before, I can say if I can grasp the fundamentals, I am very sure everyone can. That being said, I definitely do owe a great thanks to my friends, so many of them, for helping explain and show me the monk and endwalker, and their patience for getting me up to speed is so appreciated. Thank you all so much. So the elevator pitch for this glorious fistful monk is that this is by far the fastest job of all of Final Fantasy XIV with the lowest GCD by far, and the primary focus of its kit is around a very dynamic 6-button core GCD, which feels more like a genuine fighter style combo system rather than a standard rotation. Lower GCD and the ability for skill expression is extremely deep for the monk, and rest assured that is no YouTube exaggeration. The monk has an extremely large amount of optimization and different openers that can be used and very much fine-tuned. Some things are going to be low-hanging fruit for easy performance leaps in certain situations, but other concepts of FPS tied to rotation are way beyond the comfort level that I personally have right now. But I need to immediately disclaimer and stop myself there that saying that fundamentally monk at a baseline level is very intuitive to play once you practice it for a little bit. I just feel like when I mentioned that earlier is that people will leap back and go, oh no, that sounds awful. But at a baseline, once you take it to dummy and practice it for a bit, it really does flow. But for those who want to push that ceiling, the ceiling certainly can be pushed, which is actually a great thing. If that is something that appeals to you and you really want skillful expression of play, monk will give you that. Moving on with the pitch though is that monk offers all of these benefits while having fantastic utility with mantra, a ton of on-demand mobility, and actual defensive buffs like super powerful defensive capabilities on the monk lens. So I think it's time to talk monk. This video inspires you to take up the way of the fist. I'd love if you punched that like button and cat daddy that subscribe button. Almost said something else there, but rest assured I did note the opportunity. So reason number one is kind of like what I said in the elevator pitch, is that monk is super fast, and unlike other times where I say that you intentionally avoid skill speed on certain jobs, is monk actually tries to lower its GCD significantly further below even its own baseline for a GCD around 1.93, 1.94, which that might not sound extremely fast, especially from people coming from World of Warcraft that are like, yeah, okay, I get it, I was on a 1.5 second GCD, but with 14's gameplay, it has genuinely overwhelmed many people not prepared for the speed and off GCDs. And yes, that did include me at first. It has taken a lot of practice to get here. Many people greater than I have been overwhelmed by this. I'll say it that way because it's like, oh wow, shocker. Really the point I'm trying to make is this makes it faster than every other job on the GCD, and so if you want a fast job though, with all that being said, this is the #1 recommendation I can make to you. One thing that I am going to mention here, because I did note it myself as a solid trade-off, is that monk has a noticeable fewer number of off GCD abilities that they're casting on a consistent basis than say a dragoon, and then monk is more focused on the GCD, so if you hate off GCDs and love on GCD abilities, then this is actually going to be a great job for you. So I do need to disclaimer, me saying that is like you still have quite a few, but you don't have as many as say dragoon. So reason number 2 is continuing our talk about the GCD, because monk has 6 buttons in its core GCD, and I don't want to call it a rotation though, but you're going to be flowing between Oppo form, Raptor form, and a curl form. It's taken an embarrassing amount of takes to try and say that right. I am so sorry. I personally, with my user interface and my keybinds, personally set these up as 1 in control key 1 as Oppo, 2 and control key 2 is Raptor, and 3 and control 3 are going to be the curl form. Explained simply, your Oppo form skills are going to be your hardest hitting skills, Boot Shine and Dragon Kick. Whenever possible, you want to change Dragon Kick into Boost Shine, because Dragon Kick has a buff called Leaden Fist that makes Boot Shine hit super hard, which Boot Shine already hits very hard because it is guaranteed a critical hit when you're in that Oppo form. My recommendation that I'm going to make to you is that I made a custom user interface just for this, is to track the status info conditional enhancements, and I just made this user interface element massive to keep track of Leaden Fist. This is actually intensely helpful information. On that note, I'd also do the same for conditional enhancements and make it big. Plop it wherever you can see it on the screen, which is very useful for exactly what I'm talking about next, which is as a monk you need to maintain a personal buff called Disciplined Fist, boosting your damage very significantly that you get from using the Twin Snakes GCD, as well as for the damage over time effect of Demolish for the Demolish GCD. If those buffs are up, then you simply use True Strike when you don't need to refresh your damage buff, and Snap Punch when you don't need to refresh your damage over time effect on the target. Boom. That's the combo system completely explained. It's that simple. But remember, you're going to be doing all of this on a very fast GCD, which is what really adds to the complexity a lot. Reason 3 is that Monk's system, called the Master System, sometimes called the Seal System depending on who you ask, is awesome. The Master System builds on this GCD in a way that I find genuinely fascinating in 14, and we have nothing really quite like it. Maybe the Ninjutsu system comes close, but it feels really totally different in practice after playing both quite a bit. So the Master System is an active combo system that rewards you for playing out combos of your GCD abilities with the extreme bursts of damage. The overview of the system is really that you activate Perfect Balance ability and then you execute 3 of your on GCD abilities in a combo that will unlock a combo finisher called Masterful Blitz, which does extremely powerful damage. Masterful Blitz is a scary tooltip, yeah, I'm gonna agree that was intimidating even to me to look at first, but it is literally just listing out all the different combo finishers which have different conditions for each of the finishers. I almost said combos, different combos for the combo finisher. Fighting game enthusiasts though, from what I've been told personally, have actually enjoyed the system a lot. I need to edit this in, so hold out here. So what exactly is a combo on GCD action is one of the most important things to establish first. So you remember how I defined on GCD abilities as being either Oppo, Oppo, Raptor, or Curl? Yeah, those on comboed on GCD abilities are combinations of Oppo, Oppo, Raptor, and Curl. So not the specific GCD abilities themselves. So an Oppo Oppo ability like Dragon Kick or Boot Shine will give you an Oppo Oppo combo seal. A Raptor ability like True Strike or Twin Snakes gives you a Raptor combo seal. And a Coral ability, Snap Punch or Demolish, will give you a Coral seal. And then yeah, just back to the main video, I just want to clarify that. But now I want to go over the different combo finishers that we have. And so the first one is called Elixir Field, which is a finisher for 3 of the exact same sign. And so this will always be Oppo Oppo form abilities where you can use Perfect Balance, ideally after just using an Oppo Oppo ability to chain the last Oppo ability. And like I said in an earlier point, Dragon Kick gives a Leaden Fist buff that makes Boot Shine hit like a truck, and so that's really what you're going for here. Whenever possible, try and do this. Now, the second finisher is Celestial Revolution, which is best viewed as a suboptimal ending because it does less damage, but it will allow your rotation to keep going and give some damage here. This is from only 2 different combo abilities like Oppo Oppo or into Raptor back into Oppo Oppo. What you really want from the system is you want the same combo type for all of the 3 abilities, or 3 different for the 3 abilities that you use. Maybe I should watch my tongue though, because even worse is if you do Elixir Field over and over and over again and don't get that solar seal. I speak from experience on that one, sadly. And the third one is going to be Rising Phoenix, which is just from the 3 different types of seals. She's going to land you with a beautiful solar seal. Now this system does build on itself in that these 3 finishers mentioned here gives you a lunar or a solar seal, or the tooltips call them naughty. I'm not exactly sure exactly what that is, but most conversations that I've been having lately is people are calling them seals. Once you have 1 solar and 1 lunar seal, the next time that you cast Perfect Balance, which means every 3rd Perfect Balance or every 120 seconds, because each Perfect Balance is 40 seconds cooldown, which means it's going to line up with raid buff windows, but every 3rd Perfect Balance you're going to be casting Phantom Rush, which does a mind-blowing amount of damage. It is like the finisher of all finishers. Wrap up this point, because wow, this got long, is there are minor optimizations possible, but this is the fundamentals of this combo system, and I think it genuinely is very interesting because it has huge interplay with your rapid GCD, with your 6 different on GCD actions, and it feels really wild and flavorful in 14. Reason number 4 is that Monk builds off of all of this with great mobility on demand that they can use for 6-sided star, for 5 seconds of burst movement, which is always fantastic, and then they have the Thunderclap Them Cheeks ability that allows them to warp around the field to enemies or allies. It's a very, very mobile job. Reason number 5 is that Monk has an extreme amount of durability. You have Riddle of Earth, which allows the Monk to take 20% reduced damage for the next 3 hits. Sadly, no, that doesn't stack up to 60% damage mitigation. That'd be absolutely crazy, but it does not. But you do combine this with higher melee DPS health, Bloodbath, Second Wind, and the fact that you have 3 charges of this that can eat 3 attacks each that can mitigate all of those means that Monk can take a severe amount of punishment for 9 attacks. Compared to every other DPS, Monk is frankly very, very, very durable and tough. Reason number 6 is that Monk has some very nice utility, especially for a melee DPS using Mantra. 10% healing boost for both on GCD and off GCD for 15 seconds is fantastic, however you slice it. Obviously, in raw healing throughput situations like P4S Current Call. When this is up, it's very, very nice. It's a very appreciated thing, but also it has synergy with boosting Scholar Shields for deployment ad load, and obviously deployment tactics, recitation, and mantra are all going to be 90-second cooldown, so they line up no problem whatsoever. This obviously will multiplicatively stack with Bards of Nature's Manet, Warriors, Thrill of Battle. Y'all get what I mean here. It's just overall solid utility. Now, reason number 7 is cycling back to that core fundamental idea that I said at the start, that Monk has a ton of optimization potential, and the skill ceiling is very, very, very high if you're looking for it. You don't need to do all that though to perform well on Monk though. You don't need to be doing the most. You don't need to be the one who's extra in that. But for those who do want that, the challenge is there. Well, obviously now that we're at the end of the video, a lot of people are just like, oh, I know what you were doing. You were doing a lunar solar opener, which is what I described earlier, but there are arguments for all kinds of different openers and fight optimizations and topics on FPS and all that, which is frankly above my head at this point. But if you want to challenge, Monk is 100% here and open to deliver that. Now that's it for this video. I'm a little sad that this video is so short. I cannot emphasize the wild number of hours that I went into researching, practicing, and taking monks through fights. Oh well, I just hope that this helps all of you out and inspires you. But I can say for sure that I do recommend Monk to anyone wanting speed, challenge, and Monk hands down or hands up. Delivers that fantasy by a huge margin. Not to mention the memes, but maybe I shouldn't say them. And anyhow, take care everyone, and I love you all, and I hope that you have an absolutely amazing day.